So we all know there's drama between Bobby Green and Arman Tsarukyan's corner and everything like that. And I think Arman Tsarukyan versus Bobby Green is very possible. The stars are definitely going to have to align in this one for it to happen because he's going to have to get through Jalen Turner. And Jalen and Hooker were very close fight, right? So Jalen's not a slouch. But Bobby Green has definitely built some momentum and definitely made a name for himself and just definitely kept himself on the radar. Not just long form in the UFC, but right now, dude's on a total tear. Dude's really just making things happen for himself. And if he's able to beat Jalen Turner, he should call out Arman Tsarukyan. I don't know if how high in the rankings he could go based on skill. I definitely don't think he's beating Islam Makhachev. That would be a good fight because I really do think that Arman Tsarukyan might lose against Beneil Dariush. Might just because based on Dariush's resume, he got caught with a lucky kick by Oliver. Not a lucky kick, but a really well placed kick, and one shot can end the whole thing of MMA. And if you watch that first round, Dariush was edging Oliveira just a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? Like little by little, I felt like Dariush was just edging out Oliveira just like that. So I feel like he's not done yet, and that's the main thing. But with Bobby Green versus Arman Tsarukyan, that grappler versus striker matchup, and we'll see who could get their hands on who. I see Arman winning that fight, but I also do think that that could be a really good upset victory to cap off Bobby Green's career before the next wave of fighters comes. And I'm not saying he's just going to get steamrolled out, but there's some dudes like the guy that just knocked out Matt Frivola who are definitely climbing up the rankings and definitely pose a threat to a lot of these guys. I'm definitely sure if he loses this next fight, he goes down, fights Paddy Pimblett, and destroys him. I think that's not even a close fight. I think Paddy Pimblett would lose terribly to Bobby Green. It would probably be the loss that Paddy needs if he doesn't lose to Tony Ferguson. But that would be a really good centerpiece and just a good send off for Bobby Green at his level in his career because he has stayed around in the UFC for such a long time and just always fought the who's who. He wasn't always the best fighter, didn't always come out on top, but when he bounced back, he bounced back. So I think like if he takes that fight and earns that fight against Arman Tsarukyan, that would be a really good highlight near the end of his career, just with his age and just seeing how the sport sometimes catches up. But we're gonna have to see the stars align this weekend in UFC Austin. But that's my thoughts. I really do want to see that fight happen. Um, will it? I don't know. We're gonna have to really see some fight victories match up, and then if Arman loses and Bobby Green wins, right? Perfect fight to make. That's all I got to say.